Hello, how's it going everybody? My name is Dylan. Welcome back to the channel if you've stuck around this long. I apologize if you're watching this as a subscriber or a recent visitor of the channel for not uploading in 5 or 6 months now, probably since the beginning of free agency. Um, the very active free agency period of the New England Patriots kind of swamped me, and I didn't get my acquisition analysis videos out there, and before you knew it, I was taking a break from my very lenient uploading schedule already. But I thought I'd give it a go again. We're about to start a brand new season, the 2021 NFL season, and I'm very excited for it. And so I don't really know exactly what I'm going to say or what kind of videos I'm going to make, but I just want to be talking about the Patriots and hoping some people will listen. So if you are here, I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking around. Or if you're new here, welcome. Um, like I said, my name is Dylan, and I would like to just give a couple keys to the game, I think, for tomorrow's game against the Miami Dolphins to kick off the 2021 NFL season. And obviously, the first one being this man right here, Mac Jones, the new starting quarterback of the New England Patriots. How I think he's going to do, and what I think the chances are of him having a successful week one and kind of setting the tone for his rookie year. Um, Miami's a good team. That's the first thing I wanted to say. They're not like they used to be. It used to be a few years ago even, where you would just go down to Miami and beat them a couple times, and that would seem like it would be it, right? But no, I don't believe that's going to be the case this year. Ever since they got Brian Flores, the culture has turned around a little bit, and they went 10-6 last year. They're a pretty good team. Tua Tagovailoa is their starting quarterback, and he's still a bit unproven, but I think he's got a lot of upside, a lot of good stuff about him that he did in his rookie year, even though he had some struggles. So this is one section I wanted to look at, though. Because Miami is a pretty good team and has a decent defense, I wanted to look at these quarterbacks that made their first NFL start for the Patriots. Just look at the stat lines really quickly, and obviously this is very different. You're going back to 1993 with Drew Bledsoe in a very different league where it was not as high volume passing as it is now. 14 of 30, 30 pass attempts, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Tom Brady, week 4, 2001, doesn't really say too much about this. 86 yards and no touchdowns. Matt Castle, week 2, you can say again, 23 pass attempts. The most here is Jimmy Garoppolo, which I remember this game. When Tom's serving his 4-game suspension for Deflategate, 24 of 33, 264 yards, with 1 touchdown, no picks, and a 23-21 win over the Cardinals. That was a great game, and we were all very impressed by Jimmy in this game. And I remember Jacoby Brissett played pretty well. He had a nice rushing touchdown. Defense did great that game against the Texans. So really, the best performer here obviously was Jimmy Garoppolo, and that was on a Super Bowl winning team. I will say that. So you had Martellus Bennett, and I'm pretty sure, was Gronk playing that game? I'm not sure, because that year was weird with Marty and Gronk and everything. But Jimmy was very impressive. One of the things that led to people kind of freaking out over him and saying, "Oh, he's the heir apparent to Tom," and obviously that led to a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening with his trade. But they say the bar isn't that high for Jones to surpass all of their starting debuts. I think he'll at least probably pass them in terms of pass attempts. Getting 34 or more pass attempts. I think maybe not, but because I know they will try to run the ball, but I think they're going to have him passing the ball and doing some of that short passing game that they showcased a little bit in the preseason. It does still remain to be seen how he's going to play with ones on offense, since we didn't exactly get to see too much of him with the ones. We know that he did it in practice and stuff, but in the preseason most of the time he wasn't playing too much with the ones, if at all. And we didn't see too many of the new acquisitions. Nelson Aguilar didn't play too much. Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry didn't play at all. Jonnu Smith did not play too much either. So it definitely remains to be seen, what rapport he has with these guys and how he's going to use them to attack this defense. But I do think that the offensive coordinator is going to try to take some of the weight off his shoulders and give the ball to Damian Harris a lot. They're going to be trying to get, I'm sure, Ramondre Stevenson and J.J. Taylor involved as well in the running game, and using James White like they always do out of the backfield as a pass catcher. But this is Boston.com. They have Patriots 24, Dolphins 13. I don't think I would say that much because, I do have some questions about our defense and the secondary in particular, how we're going to fare. Thankfully, Will Fuller, not thankfully, but Will Fuller is still serving his PED suspension, which is for 6 games. Actually, I think he starts it. But that leaves us with, having to deal with Devontae Parker and Jalen Waddle, as well as Mike Gesicki, their tight end. So they have a pretty potent offense. It's not, a Super Bowl caliber offense, in my opinion, not right now. Neither is the Patriots, for that matter. But it, you know, it has some merit. It has some upside. But these two are two of my keys to the game. Two guys that are questionable right now. Guys that I really hope will be able to play because we need these guys. Jalen Mills and Nelson Aguilar, two of the off-season acquisitions this year. Jalen Mills, for right now, is probably CB2, right across from J.C. Jackson, with Stephon Gilmore being on the PUP list for the first at least 6 weeks of the year. And I mean, who knows if there's anything longer. Hopefully not. Hopefully he'll be ready after that, and hopefully they can get this contract dispute sorted out so that we can maybe get him extended. I would love to extend him. But yes, we definitely need Jalen Mills because behind him it gets a little murky. You've got John Jones obviously in the slot. You've got Joejuan Williams, who had a pretty decent preseason, but I'm still not sure if he's ready to be CB2. And Sean Wade, again, a guy who has played everywhere and mostly has his success in the slot. He can play outside. I think the Patriots are trying him outside for the one preseason game that he was with them for. But I'm not very confident in any of those guys, to be very honest with you, not at this stage. So I would definitely like Jalen Mills to be there. And he's got to step it up. He was all right. He had some moments in training camp in the preseason, and some people were saying he was underperforming a bit. But I think seeing him out there definitely will just help. He's an experienced guy. They paid him a lot of money, so definitely hope he can live up to that contract. And Nelson as well. He only had a couple targets in the preseason, and he only had 1 catch. So he was very quiet, and they didn't play him too much. But he does add an element of speed to the Patriots offense that they just don't have without him. They don't have the same ability to kind of take the top off the defense without Nelson Aguilar. And Nelson Aguilar, he had a great game against Miami last year. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was with the Raiders. And he scored I'm not sure exactly the yardage of the touchdown, but it was probably 80 plus. It was a really long catch and run. So that was beautiful, and I hope he can kind of recreate that with his new number. He's no longer 13, he's 15 now, and N'Keal Harry is 1. But definitely having him play would be great, since behind him it's only really Jacoby Myers and Kendrick Bourne. Uh, Obviously, N'Keal being on IR, hopefully he can come back by week 4. And behind him, Gunnar Olszewski is basically all they have. Malcolm Perry, the new wide receiver, was placed on IR today as well. And they did not choose to elevate either of the practice squad wide receivers to the game day roster. They did, however, choose to elevate Brian Hoyer, which is to be expected, just to have a backup quarterback, since right now Mac Jones is the only quarterback on the active roster. And they did decide to elevate kicker Nick Folk, so it does appear that he might be the guy, at least for the first little bit of the season. Maybe just kind of easing in Quinn Nordine, not giving him too much, in terms of high pressure situations, making sure that he's ready before you kind of throw him into the fire. Quinn's definitely got a great leg. That's not up for debate. Of course, no one's questioning that about him, but definitely hopeful that he can get some of those accuracy concerns put away. And I mean, not really concerns. He just had a really bad game. I think the second game of the preseason, he missed what, 3 kicks, including 2 extra points. I mean, it was rough to see, and I thought that really sealed his fate. And I was a little surprised on cutdown day when the Patriots decided to go with Nick Folk, or excuse me, if they decided to go with Quinn Nordine over Nick Folk. But I suppose Nick did not have to pass through waivers, being a veteran, to go on the practice squad. So we'll see how long that lasts, with either of these things. Eventually, the Patriots are going to have to sign a quarterback to the 53-man. They just have to, you know. And if it's Brian Hoyer, if it's somebody else, okay, you kind of make do with that. You hope that he doesn't have to play. Obviously, you want Mac Jones to start all the time, but yeah, they only get one more elevation, I believe, of Brian Hoyer. So they're basically kind of kicking the issue down the line, which I don't really mind right now. Honestly, there's a lot of moving parts to this roster. But yeah, if I had to give a prediction, I'd probably say it would be a pretty close game, a low-scoring game. Definitely looking forward to seeing some of the linebackers after last year's debacle. Definitely getting Hightower back is going to help. Van Noy back. Matt Judon has been an absolute beast, and Josh Uche is taking that second-year jump, hopefully. So I think this defense is going to be able to contain Miami's offense, despite the concerns surrounding not having Stephon Gilmore. However, I do think that the Patriots are going to try to be a little conservative with Mac Jones, not having him air it out as much. I guess I'm kind of recanting my prediction that'll break the passing attempts record set by Patriots in their first career starts. He would need 34. I don't know if he's going to do that because they're definitely going to give the ball to Damian Harris a lot. Like I said, J.J. Taylor, Ramondre Stevenson, hopefully. Um, I would say somewhere in the range of 21-17. A really close game like that where it comes down to one score. I don't think it's going to be a wide margin of victory for the Patriots, but I think they'll get a few touchdowns. They'll be able to score, and Mac Jones is going to be efficient. I do believe Mac Jones is going to be efficient. I don't really know exactly what his stat line is going to look like, but I think his completion percentage is going to be pretty good. I do think that's going to be a staple of his game. That was a staple of his game in Alabama, and I believe that'll hopefully carry over to the NFL. It has so far in his 3 preseason games, but yeah, definitely just keep pounding the ball on the ground and airing it out when you need to. Hopefully, getting a couple of the new targets involved. Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith on the field at the same time is going to be amazing. I can't wait for it. The Mac Jones era starts tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, and be prepared because this is going to be a pretty awesome ride if all goes well. Hopefully, this is the last time to change our starting quarterback for a little while. Let's just cross our fingers there. But anyways, I've talked long enough. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you, like I said, if you have returned to the channel after a while, if you stuck around, I really appreciate you. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'll try to be uploading a little more than I have. Obviously, not taking more half-year breaks like that. But I'm very excited for this season. I can't wait to see what the Patriots do, and I can't wait to interact with a ton of fans. And hopefully that this era brings a lot of joy to all of us. So, anyways, I will see you all later.